people with MS. And I got to show you this, what the psychiatrist gave me. He gave me this piece of equipment, and I was supposed to snap it every time.
That's an elastic band like around your vegetables.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to snap it every time my right leg would start to drag. And Moira, do you know what it did for my MS? Did nothing. And what it did was, though, it gave me a rash on my arm also. But eventually they diagnosed it that I had MS. And I had years where I was walking with a cane, then I was walking with a walker, and now in the wheelchair. And that's the biggest fear that everybody has is, oh no, what if I end up in a wheelchair? I'll tell you, you will not believe all the free stuff I get when I get better parking spots than you. So it's not all that bad. Now and you can wear high heels.
Well, we've got to go to the shoes in a moment. But you went to your church leaders.
Uh-huh.
Or they came to you.
They came to me.
And they prayed for your healing.
That's right.
When you were diagnosed with MS.
That's right.
And you say? I
was healed. I was healed. And I know there's people out there right now say, well, no, she wasn't. She's in a wheelchair.
Get her back to group therapy.
Exactly. Exactly. Lots of people say that all the time. No, I was healed then. They anointed me with oil. They prayed on me. They all put their hands on me. We prayed fervently. I was released from fear. I was released from that fear of my MS. I haven't been afraid. I have no pain with it, and God has been able to use this wheelchair to encourage so many people. Dr. Helen Roosevelt, do you know her?
Yes.
Oh, just love her, one of my heroes. And she said that when she was being brutalized as a missionary,
in the
Congo, she was being brutalized. She said that the Lord said to her, can I use your body just for this one moment, and it will be for glory. And she said, yes, you can use my body right now. And that's what I feel like with this. You know, that if he can use this light affliction, really.
It's interesting you should mention Dr. Helen Roosevelt, because as a brand new believer in the 70s, she is one of the first speakers I heard. And, you know, she was a single missionary doctor in the Congo. She'd already sacrificed so much to serve God there, captured, beaten, and raped.
Yes, horrible.
Brutal journey. I thought mistakenly that once you come to God, you're protected. And, you know, everything's going to go well now. And it was a real challenge to my emerging theology, understanding God and His ways. And that message, why does a God of love allow suffering?
Yes.
If I had to list 5 messages, in fact, I just had returned to me my last remaining cassette of that message.
Mine is in a special spot in our house. I don't want to lose it. Can I thank God for trusting me with this experience, even if He never tells me why? And Moira, He has told me why.
He has.
I don't want to sound like Pollyanna, like this is some trite thing, you know, that everything's glitzy and glammy for soon men's now. Not at all, but He has told me why. And I see it after I come and speak to people, and they come up to me. I once was speaking to a group of seniors. I was so terrified. There was missionaries in the group, and you know, the head of Christian Horizons, and I'm thinking, Lord, why are you bringing me out here? I've had no biblical knowledge or anything, and now you're putting me in front of these people. They're going to hate me. This missionary came up to me afterwards, and she was crying, and she said, I needed to laugh today. Thank you so much for that. And I think, I can't believe you've got me out making people laugh and somehow working it to your glory.
How is your family with this journey? It's had a lot of curves in places you would never want to go. I think we have a family portrait here. Let's see who.
Oh, look at them.
Oh, wait a minute. Now this is a smooch right after your breast cancer
after my breast
surgery.
cancer, and I didn't know. I didn't think I was going to probably make it that year. You know, you just don't know in that. And that was us, the year 2000. And there's my boys and my husband.
Jacob's 25.
Yes.
Jesse 23.
Yes, he is.
And your husband of 28 years, Rick.
Yes.
Great support team. Have they?
They have been a great support team.
You with this same positive outlook?
One of my sons just had a recent setback. And when I met him at a mall, and I had a little bit of tears in my eyes just because of what he was going through, and he went, hey, stop it. He said, you put that away. Okay, and I got to say, sounds like pat on my back, but it made me feel so wonderful. He said, you're my mom, what am I going to think? That made me feel so wonderful. and to see that what God has given to me, He's given to my husband, He's given to my children too, is the ability to cope with things that that happen, you know, to you, and it's going to happen to everybody.
Something.
Oh, if things are going bad for you, just wait. It'll change. If things are going good for you, just wait. It'll change.
God's word says that we are also called to suffer. Not just to believe in Him, but also to suffer.
That's right.
For Him.
That's right.
Are you in pain, Susan?
Zero. I have zero pain.
That's wonderful.
But we were talking about today the snow that's out there right now. We've just had spring and now there's snow. I'm thinking to myself, if I lived in Florida, I would not appreciate those spring days, the same as we're going to when we finally get to throw off our coats.
Right on.
And I was thinking that about having to, one day, I'm going to be able to throw off this coat. I'm going to be able to dance. I'm waiting on that day.
I don't know where this cruise ship is. We have a Titanic.
I went to the Bahamas.
Titanic moment here. I think that's your wheelchair right behind
it totally is.
you.
That's a fake shot. My husband said, "Stand up, stand." I can weight bear, so I can stand up for a second. He said, "Do one of those, you know, Titanic shots." So I did that. I wanted to show you that picture to say that just because I'm in a wheelchair doesn't mean I'm sitting at home watching the world go by.
And that's what the red shoes are about.
When
You obviously always loved red shoes. You were married in red shoes.
When I lost my job, I cannot even tell you how I cried. I cried and cried and cried and cried. That was the only thing I was going to be able to do for the rest of my life. I had, you know, planned for that. My career was that. Now what was I going to do? Just sit and watch the world go by. Ha ha. God had other plans for me. Because now I go out, speak to people. I've gone on cruises. Life is not over, that's for sure.
And you don't get the bunions or...
Not at all.
Have the
I
pain
can wear the
some
red
of us
high
do.
heel shoes and they don't hurt my feet at all. And I hope that gives people a little bit of hope in that, okay, you've got one plan, God's got a plan B.
You
always
are embracing life. Look at this next picture. These are the Liberty Sisters.
that.
Who are these
Look
guys?
at that.
And where
Those-
are you now?
Those are my friends, and we are in front of our hotel in New York City. And the four of us went down. We hired my husband to drive us down. Yep. My husband doesn't like it. I sometimes call him a boot-licking lackey, and he says, you know, that's not your best interest to call me that. Handsome assistant is what we've changed it to now.
I think that's
yes.